about my pony video. So my pony's called Freya. Her show name is Silver Chance. I quite like that because it's like sounds kind of like an Irish racehorse name, and I think that's cool. Her name was, when I bought her, was Mary or Marigold, Mary Stem. I think that was what it was. Which I didn't like that. So I looked at like Greek goddesses and I saw Freya and I thought that's just like a really nice name. So I renamed her Freya. She's a 2-year-old. She's probably about 2.5 now. I don't know when her birthday is. So it could be she could turn 3 at the end of this year or the start of next year. I'm not quite sure. For breeds and everything, again, I don't really know. There's not a lot of history with her. She was sold to me as Irish Draft Cross Thoroughbred, but she's quite small and normally they reach, anywhere between 16 and 17 hands. She's only 14.1 hands at the moment. So possibly, I was thinking maybe Connemara Cross Thoroughbred, but I mean, who really knows, to be honest. So I did a little bit about how I got her. Basically, my parents could never afford to buy me my own horse. So I've been saving up for years now. Well, probably years. And when I turned 18, I decided that I would get a horse to go to university with me because I'm going to do equine management at uni. So for a period of a year, I looked predominantly on pre-loved. I thought it was a really good site for horses. There was loads of choice, really easy to use, and I was just going through it, and I thought, you know what? I'll have a look at this cob. It was a typical coloured cob. I probably wouldn't have even considered it really, but I just clicked on it out of a whim, and it just happened that the main picture was of the cob, but there was a second horse being sold in the same advert, which was Freya. Obviously, not so good for the sellers, as like me, nobody else would have realised. So I had to purchase. They do if it's only so many days new, you have to purchase. It's only a 5 for 3 years. It's not so bad. So I purchased that, and I got in touch straight away. I really wanted her as soon as I saw the picture. I've been waiting a year and I hadn't really considered any of the other horses that I've seen. We eventually went up to Wales, which is where she was, to see her. The first thing I liked is when I drove in and Freya saw her previous mum and she neighed to us straight away, and look, she wanted to go see her, so she's clearly friendly with people. Freya was very wary of me at first. She wouldn't let me nearer, but I mean within 15 minutes I'd tiny bit of really dodgy lunging, but it was for her age. I'd groomed her, I put a bridle on her, I walked up and down the streets where there was guard dogs on chains, and we passed another horse, we passed cars, sheep, cows, we passed everything, and she didn't blink an eye. And then the owner also had these great big Great Danes, which are nearly as big as Freya, and their heads were height of her bum, and they were just sniffing her, and she didn't try and kick or anything. So yeah, I went to see her once, and then the next time I came and saw her, I bought a trailer that I hired with a camera in the back and everything, and to go home I had to stop because the lady tied her lead rope onto the equitie, and it'd come undone and she just wasn't tied up. So obviously I didn't want her standing on a rope or anything, so I had to go back around, tie her up, and then we set off again. So we're going down the motorway and we hit tons of traffic, really, really bad traffic. So I was a bit oh. But as we were going down, I noticed I couldn't see a hay net in her, in the camera, and I was oh my god, because you hear stories about horses having to be put down because they you know, get their legs caught in the hay nets and that. So I was screaming at my dad, and he pulled over into the hard shoulder. So I went into the back, and you could feel it rocking and everything as these lorries went past. Luckily, she was good as gold. She had the hay net around her 2 front feet, and she let me go. Like, I literally had to crawl under her and like move her around, try and get it free. But she was so good. Didn't make a fuss at all. And when I got it out, the whole of the top rope that you tie it with had snapped. I mean, she wasn't even pulling on it. Like, I was really disappointed with the company. That was so dangerous. So obviously I later sent them a complaint, because it's just not safe for horses. Yeah, so the journey was about 3 hours, but she was very good. We took her home.